is the game of the week, the one people have been waiting for. A rematch from last year. Ohio State is a 3-point favorite traveling to South Bend, Indiana. Over-under is set at 55.5 points. This game is going to be won in the trenches in my eyes, Fresh. Which defensive line can beat the offensive line? What say you?
This is going to be a physical brouhaha battle. It's going to be last year, if you watched it, the opener, it was a physical fight for the first half, and then eventually talent sort of Ohio State pulled away, and they made adjustments. This Notre Dame team is better than that one week one last year. It's going to be very physical at the line of scrimmages, offensive line, defensive line. You're going to hear the pads are going to be popping. Tune in, turn the volume up on NBC. It's going to be popping. It's a fact that Notre Dame has struggled with AP top 10 teams. Going back to 2016, versus an AP top 10 team, the Irish are 3-9. 2 of those wins versus Clemson, 1 versus Stanford. All 3 did come in South Bend, though. This team, the players change, but the same result. And I could have kept going farther back from 2016. They get in the top 10 matches. It's been a bugaboo. It's been a curse. They just have not had the number to be able to get those victories in those big, big games. This is a prime chance. You finally have a legit quarterback on your football team in Sam Hartman. Can he be the difference maker? Can he make the calls? He's looked fantastic so far on offense. He's got the offense booing. Can he be the leader and the change agent for the Irish to get them over the hump and win a big game? Their defense played phenomenal when they beat Clemson the past couple times. But this time they're going to need to be in a shootout a little bit because the offense for Ohio State and for their defense is so talented. They're going to have to find ways to score points to keep themselves in the ballgame. It's the first real test for McCord, too, on the other side. Western, Youngstown State, Indiana, Western Kentucky. Now you're going on the road to South Bend, a rowdy, starving Irish fan base. Will they show up and make it intimidating for them? Now, one other little antidote. Irish fans don't exactly pack their own stadium. 2017, Georgia was going to play Notre Dame. It was a sea of red in South Bend. And it made a difference in the fourth quarter because it wasn't loud when Georgia was on the field, and it was loud when Notre Dame was playing offense because of all the Georgia fans in the building. Did Ohio State fans buy up all these tickets? Will we see scarlet and gray surrounding the Irish as opposed to the Irish actually maintaining a home field advantage? That's one thing I truly want to see on Saturday. Where is that advantage coming from? Did Ohio State fans buy up the seats? Because if that's the case, it makes the McCord's experience that much easier. It's not a violent, raucous, road environment for you to go into. You're going to hear your own band playing. You're going to hear your own fans cheering. It's going to make it easy. How did Notre Dame fans show up for this game on Saturday? That's going to be a big, big play at night. How good truly is Notre Dame, too? We've seen them light up Navy. NC State, they had the rain, in and out, lightning to play. You can put up points against anybody. How good truly is Notre Dame? This is going to be the big test of that program, what Coach Freeman has built there, what he's overhauled. Obviously, last year they beat Clemson. They had a nice little run. They beat Syracuse. They made a huge comeback for South Carolina. We started strong this year, but this is the test because game one in your career, last year, you lost it late. How much have you changed that program in the past 12 and a half, 13 months? This is a big – eyes are watching for the growth of the Notre Dame program and recruiting and just team mojo. Have you made adjustments? Have you changed? Can you take advantage of this? The 2023 season is the first time the Irish have scored 40-plus points in 4 straight games to open a season since 1900, 123 years ago. This offense is putting up points. Is it because they're playing bad teams or because this offense is actually truly lethal and they can survive and produce in any situation? That's what I'm really going to, Hartman's one thing, but the overall estimate at running back, the receivers, the offensive line, all playing in sync, putting points on and being ruthless offensively and scoring at will without issue. They're going to need points in this football game because they're playing a lethal offense in Ohio State. Can they show up on Saturday and get the job done? Both defenses giving up less than 235 yards a game, which puts them both top 4 nationally. So these defenses have been locking people down, getting outs, getting people off the field, getting stops, getting turnovers. Which one blinks on Saturday? Because both these offenses have talented players. Which one blinks? Who owns the line of scrimmage? Which quarterback makes a mistake? Which defense forces a quarterback to make a mistake? It's also calling for rain, low 70s. Is that going to make the ball slippery? Which running back's going to cough it up? Henderson, Estime, which quarterback? The Steel Chambers and Eichenberg on that defense and that Jim Knowles defense. What special looks do they have for Hartman? They've also progressed since this first time. They met last year in the opener. Nobody really knew what they were going to get. They were kind of working through some things. They have definitely grown. What special items do they have for Hartman in that offense? What looks are they going to give to really throw some confusion and really give him some, for the first part, adversity for this Notre Dame offense? Because they have not had any adversity all season long. Where is this going to change? That's what I'm also looking for. It worries me with McCord coming in and really not showing any major flashes, but I think the overall depth of Ohio State and Ryan Day's ability to coach in big games is a big thing we haven't really thought about. He might not have beaten Michigan since 2019, but he definitely has a team prepared to play in other big games. And you know what? They actually show up in those Michigan games too. There's maybe late in the fourth quarter, they haven't had enough juice. He is the better coach. He has been more battle tested than Coach Freeman. I think that's going to pay off. He's going to actually coach his best game at Ohio State on Saturday night. Ryan Day is going to silence a lot of the doubters, basically say, I'm in charge of this program. I know what I'm doing. I am the right head coach for this program. Do not put me on the hot seat. Take me off. We're going to come out firing on all cylinders. We have been preparing for this moment the entire time. I have a defense ready to go. My offense is ready to go. We're going to put on a show. Buckeyes roll. Buckeyes roll big and make a statement that they are definitely a playoff team and they're going to not to be forgotten. They're not playing second fiddle to Michigan or anyone else. They are on a mission to make the playoff and win a national championship, and it's going to really be a statement game on Saturday night in South Bend. It's a 3.5 points. They're going to cover that going away. The Buckeyes is a big Saturday night and storm out of South Bend with a big win.
I like your confidence there, Fresh. It's called irrational confidence for a reason. It's going to come down to which team is going to be able to break through the offensive line, who's going to be able to get pressure. So Ohio State going to be able to send JT and Sawyer and Hall and that whole crew and Eichenberg and Steel Chambers? Are they going to be able to get after Sam Hartman? Or is it going to be the Irish? Is it going to be guys like Kaiser, or is it going to be Burnham or Mills? Who's it going to be? Bertram? Who's it going to be to get after McCord? The game will be decided, though, by which running back has a better game. Is it going to be SMA? Is it going to be Travion Henderson? If they're able to run, whoever's going to be able to run the football to make life easy on the quarterback, that's going to be a big thing for them. Sam Hartman is going into this game. I went back and I looked at the last 2 years. Sam Hartman is 2-4 in ranked games over the last 2 years. Now, again, he's at Wake Forest, not at Notre Dame. He's got a little bit different talent. He's got 19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions in those 2 games, so he does play fairly well in that. My question is Notre Dame going to use the same defensive format that they used last year? Last year, they ran 2 high safety just basically to keep everything in front of them. They kept 2 safeties deep the entire time, kept the big play. Ohio State dinked and dunked throughout this. That was one of my biggest criticism, is that they kept on trying to throw the ball. When you looked at me, you wanted to scream, well, run the football, run the football. You have a healthy stable of running backs, and Henderson, Trainum, Mine Williams, Evan Pryor, you could throw a couple of carries to as well. That's going to be the really big thing. If you see those 2 safeties, are you able to just run the football and impose your will? I'm real excited about this Buckeyes defense. The offense gives me a lot of concerns just because I want to see more on McCord, but this could be the game where he silences those concerns. Last week, you held one of the best offenses in all of college football to under 300 yards total offense. And if you take out the first couple of drives, that they basically stifled that offense. We heard this for years, Fresh. When they hired Jim Knowles away from Oklahoma State, it was always year 2 of Jim Knowles' defense. Year 2. And obviously year 1 was going to be better because you went from Kerry Combs, who didn't know what he was doing, to Jim Knowles, who kind of gave you this different structure. But we started to see this in year number 2. In year number 2 under Knowles here. They're getting more pressure. The guys are running to the football. The scheme's better. Denzel Burke is back to playing like an All-American on the outside there. He is going to have a very, very tough matchup with whether or not he draws Tyree, whether he is going to go up against Jaden Thomas, whether it's going to be Merriweather, Greathouse, whoever it is that he's going to be matched up on the outside. Can he win those matchups? Or is this Notre Dame offensive line going to hold their ground and be able to keep Hartman protected in this game? Notre Dame is at home in this one. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a hard-fought game between these two. This is the type of game that scares me and where Ohio State usually has a tendency to lose a game like this, just because I had a feeling that we're waiting for a letdown game of some sort. I'm going to take the Buckeyes to win. They're going to win this game in the fourth quarter. I'm going against my gut that's telling me here to be careful around this game. I'm going against that. I'm going to go with my irrational confidence. Ohio State wins by a touchdown late in the game. People start celebrating and really start to say, look, Ryan Day is one of the best head coaches in college football. Yes, he's got to beat the school up north still. He's still got to make some more noise in the playoffs, maybe win a national title here. But it doesn't get a whole lot better than Ryan Day. He's a great coach. He's going to have these kids ready to play. And that's nothing to say against Marcus Freeman, because Marcus Freeman is well on his way of being a great head coach. But this could, if Notre Dame wins, there's Marcus Freeman's signature win, and Notre Dame sets themselves up real nicely next week, having to go to Durham to place the Duke Blue Devils, who are also ranked. Watch out for that football game as well. But give me Ohio State. I think the under is going to come in on this game. 55.5 is a lot of points. I think this is going to be back and forth. I think points are going to be a little more scarce than what we think, especially if the rain comes in and starts raining real hard. We're going to have to keep the ball on the ground and let the running backs take over in this game. But give me Ohio State by a touchdown, and we'll see what we have from there, Fresh.
So if Notre Dame wins and they go to Duke and Duke's undefeated, can we have Mike Breen and Coach K as the honorary captains?
I would love that. That'd be amazing.
Or
That'd be
no, they have
amazing.
a free throw shooting contest for whoever wins the coin toss.
Right. Do that instead of a coin toss. That'd be fantastic.